Hi everyone, yes, okay, so it is the end of the month, so you know what this means. Yes, it's time for another Ask a Gay Man video. So I've been on Twitter and Instagram and I've asked for your questions, you've sent me your questions, so let's get answering. How does one actually go about identifying as an attack helicopter? Smash your head against the wall so many times that basically all your brain cells die and then you'll find out. Who are you rooting for on All Stars 3? Trixie Mattel all the way. Oh my god, like Trixie Mattel, like I just love Trixie so much. Like, are you going to London Pride this year? Oh my gosh, of course. I would never, ever miss London Pride. Like, literally, yes, I will be there. I'll be screaming. I don't know if YouTube's gonna have a float again like they did last year. Maybe they will, I don't know. But yes, I will be at London Pride. Summertime is like the best time because obviously all the YouTube gatherings happen in the summer. All the prides happen in the summer. Like, literally, I've got something on my eye. Would I ever get a tattoo on my head? No. I would never, I love my dome. I love my, like, I've got a nice shaped head. It's nice and smooth. Well, not today, that's why I'm wearing a hat. I need to shave my head, really. I would never tattoo my head, like, ever. Like, no.
No.
Oh my god, my contact lens is like really slipping up my eye, Jesus Christ. Is it okay not to know what sexuality you are yet? I'm kind of struggling when people ask, are you straight, bi, etc. And I say I don't know and I feel embarrassed. No, you do not need to feel embarrassed. You do not need to feel upset or like confused or whatever. Like, just if you don't know necessarily who you are and you haven't discovered that yet, that's perfectly fine. It is something that you will discover eventually, but on your own terms, and don't let anyone dictate to you like, you know, how quick it should be like done, or don't let anyone dictate to you like who you are. Like, make sure that you discover yourself in your own time. Why is it called Ask a Gay Man when you're gender fluid? Oh my gosh. Okay, so I kind of put off asking this question because I always feel like I never should have to justify myself. I have been doing YouTube for almost 10 years now. This like in like November time. Oh, can you see this lens is like up here in my eye? I don't know why it's like going all crazy. I've been doing Ask a Gay Man videos the entire time. I've had this series literally from like almost when I started my YouTube channel. When I came out as gender fluid, I wasn't gonna change a series that I've had for my entire career on YouTube just because my identity's changed. Like, it wouldn't make sense for me to change that. Why would I, like, me going ask a gender fluid person doesn't have the same ring to it as ask a gay man. Like, it just doesn't work. I can call myself a man, I can also call myself a woman, and I can also call myself a person. I'm allowed to use all of these identities the same way that I am allowed to use he, him, they, them, and any other pronoun that is under the pronoun spectrum. Like, I'm allowed to use all of these terms to describe myself, and that shouldn't be an issue. The funny thing is, I feel like this is one of those things where if I was to go around saying like, I feel female, I feel like a woman today or whatever, people wouldn't really question it. But if I suddenly say, oh, man or male, people would then be like, well, aren't you gender fluid? Aren't you non-binary? Why are you using man? But then be perfectly, like, I bet if I was to say woman or female, lots of people would be like, yes, bitch, slay, be yourself. I'm allowed to use all of these terms because it all fits into my gender identity. Will you ever decide to not shave your head and have hair again? Now, I'm not gonna reply to this in a bitchy way or anything, because obviously if you don't watch some of my older videos, you might not actually know, I cannot grow my hair. Like, it doesn't grow. Like, if I was to grow my hair, I would look like some weird experiment gone wrong. Like, my hair doesn't grow here anymore. Like, I've lost it. I'm going bald. Who is your queer celebrity icon? So growing up when I was really, really young, a guy called Kenneth Williams was kind of like my idol. He died before I was born, and he was this like really, really flamboyant, like camp, like gay actor from like the really, really early days, from like the 50s to like the 80s when he died. I looked up to him because he was the first ever kind of like real camp person I ever saw on like TV and film and things. I used to watch Carry On films. So Carry On films are like a really sort of like old British like movie series that we had here. And you can probably see Melenz again is having his own little party. If you could change one thing about the YouTube community, what would it be? Wow, what a good question. I would say the attack mode that a lot of people have when new changes happen. Like, ever since I've been like, oh, again, because I've been on YouTube for such a long time, I've been here when so many changes have happened. And every time some sort of change on YouTube happens, the entire community just literally goes insane without really understanding what's happening. Now, I don't really want to get onto the whole partnership thing that just happened just because like that will take me too long to talk about in a video, but I feel like sometimes try to understand maybe slightly where YouTube could be coming from when they do make changes. Sometimes they go a little bit crazy and do like sort of rash decisions, like the whole restricted mode, and then LGBT got restricted. I get that, like why people would be angry about that, but sometimes there has been changes in the past where people just go a little bit too insane and actually they've worked out for the better. What makes someone attractive, and do you think someone with a disability or difficulties is entitled to find love? That actually breaks my heart that that you feel like you need to ask that. Like, that's really sad. And of course, that anybody in the world is entitled to find love and should be allowed to find love and should be able to find love. Like, regardless of who you are or like what you, if you're disabled or, you know, you can't do certain things or whatever, like, if your contact lens don't sit in your eye right, make sure that you do replace your contact lenses when the time's up, because these are a little bit old now and I think this is why the left one's playing up. What advice do you have for someone who wants to move to London? You have to be a strong person. You have to be very sure of what you want to do. If you live on your own and you don't know anyone and you don't really make an effort to make friends here, like whether it's through work or whether it's through like social media or something, I feel like it can feel very lonely. And because obviously there's so many people here, like so many people, to feel like you're alone with so many people around you can feel more lonely than being in a small place with no friends. Just be strong-willed, be very, very sure of what you want, and, you know, make sure you make the most effort you can to meet people and make friends, you know, and make connections here, because that's so important. What's your favorite thing about being such a big influence on young people? I think just knowing that I'm making a difference. You know, I'm from a time where we didn't have YouTube the way that you guys have now, and I think I did manage to, like, I got on it just on sort of like the start of it, but that was when I was about 16, 17, so like I was kind of already at the stage where I was coming out anyway. Again, watching people back in the day like Love B. Scott, Chris Crocker, William Sled, all of these people like really helped me accept myself, and the fact that I'm able to do that for people now is very, very rewarding. And especially when they have like gatherings and stuff where I get to meet you guys and actually like see you in person and like see the people that I'm actually helping, makes it like, it's literally one of the best feelings ever. Like, Summer in the City this year was just incredible. The amount of people that I met, like the stories that you guys told me, it was just like, it was insane to like actually see you in person and I've met subscribers before and like I've always appreciated it, but Sitsi this year was like, well, last year I should say, a completely different experience because my numbers were so much bigger than what they were the year before. It was just crazy and I loved it, and it was just amazing just to meet so many of you and just know that, you know, although I'm stupid and I make ridiculous videos and like these, you know, the fact that I'm helping people like accept themselves and be who they are is so rewarding, especially as well when I was really, 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 really ridiculed and bullied in school and made to feel like this. The fact that most of those people haven't really done anything with their lives, and I'm here on the internet, like with, you know, getting quite a large following now and having such an influence on people's lives and impacting people, like it's so rewarding. I can be like, bye bitch, what are you doing with your life? How are you so positive? What you put out into the world is what will come back to you. And yeah, obviously I have bad days where I'm not very happy and there's things that annoy me and I get upset and everything, like every single person does. If anyone says they don't have that, then there's something wrong with them, because every single person should have an array of emotions and not just be like positive all the time. I try my hardest to stay upbeat, and if something bad happens, I try my best to try and find a silver lining rather than, you know, like a bad thing about it. There were some bad reasons why I moved to London, but like ultimately it worked out for the best. And say you're going for a job you don't like and you don't want it, but you need the money. Think like, well, instead of going, I have to do this horrible job and I really don't want to do it, think of it, it's a temporary thing just to get me to somewhere else where I want to go. Like, that's a positive look on it instead of the negative outlook on it. And people around you notice. The fact that you notice and say how you're so positive is because that's just the kind of person I am, and I always try to look for that in things. And people will notice, and people will notice if you're negative. Like, people will stop inviting you to things, people stop asking you advice on stuff because they know that they're just gonna get a negative spin on everything and not actually like a nice, positive kind of way of looking at it. Make sure you do hit the like button because it does really help me out, and I love you guys so much. And a big shout out to Kelly, Stephanie, and Teresa, who are my top 3 patrons. You're all adorable. I love you. If you want to become a patron as well, there's a link down there to help me do this out. I'm gonna take this lens out now because it's driving me insane, and I'm actually gonna have to throw them away. Bye!